Howdy folks, Kel Kellogg here. I'm out hiking around with my shotgun again. I stopped for a banana and some water. We had a little snow last night and it turned off real cold this morning. When I left my truck it was about 27 degrees. I did see one squirrel early. I don't think he ever saw me, but I was well out of range with my shotgun. But I'm thinking I might see some more activity on the way back as it warms up. The snow's starting to melt a little bit, and they might come out looking for something to eat. So we'll see. But as I'm sitting here, I thought this would be a great time to give the Norcal trout fishing report. Just got my selfie stick here. Let me switch hands. So we've got some very good bites, some fair bites, and some really kind of disappointing bites. So let's kind of start with a bite that's, surprisingly bad to me. That's up at Lake Elmenor. The fishing has reportedly been tough up there. You could catch a few fish, but nothing to write home about. Certainly not worth the drive up there at this time. Davis is kind of the opposite. Red hot fishing at Davis, but there's so much snow on the ground you can't launch a boat, and you're going to have to trudge through the snow for about a quarter mile to get to the shore of the lake. So it's not for everybody, but if you make the effort and get out there, they're still catching a lot of nice trout, 3 to 4 pounds, 20 plus inches long, power bait, inflated worms, the standard stuff. That lake's going to ice up before long, assuming that the temperatures drop here as we get into, the holiday season and into January. It usually ices up. If it does, it is just chock full of fish, and the guys that enjoy ice fishing are going to have a lot of fun up there. Moving down into the foothills, the bite continues to improve at Lake Shasta. The fish are moving to the surface. More browns are starting to show. Some big rainbows are in the mix. That's all about power trolling. Get up there, troll fast. Trigger spoons, speedy shiners, cast masters, humdingers, cripplers, you name it. If it imitates a shad, go fast. Work the lower ends of the river arms and the main body, and you should do very well. It hasn't hit its winter prime yet, but it's very good. You're looking at 10 to 12 fish a day, probably the smallest fish in 14-inch range, all the way up to fish that are 4 to 5 pounds in some cases, and even bigger if you get into a good brown. Down in the Sacramento neck of the woods, Collins Lake continues to produce very good fishing. Surface temperature out there, 55 degrees. The water is not muddy. It's very nice and clear. Bank guys are getting them. All the standard offerings, worms, power bait, cast masters, that kind of stuff. Boaters, again, kind of like Shasta, it's all about shad pattern spoons, and if you have to slow down, if they're not taking the spoons, a threaded worm or a grub will certainly produce results. Amador is kind of king this week for big fish. Big lightning trout and big rainbows are coming out of there. Fish to 9 pounds are being caught. Some real beautiful planted trout. Power eggs for the bank guys, power eggs and grubs for the trollers. I actually had a guy go out there with a trigger spoon this last week, pulling a silver trigger spoon, and they got one that was about 4.5 pounds. So spoons are working as well. But definitely for the trollers, the top offering is that grub and teamed with a power egg. And the bank guys, they're using those power eggs and power bait, mostly off the bottom, but some guys are drifting them under bobbers with good results. Comanche is doing very well. The ponds are kicking out a lot of big fish. The main lake, the bank guys are scoring at the launch ramps with power bait, some action on inflated worms, and you can certainly fan cast with cast masters. That's good. It's limit style fishing if you put in your time, and boaters are doing very well with grubs, cast masters, small rapalas, stuff like that. They're pulling pretty bright stuff. I hear the fire tiger, the small fire tiger rapala is doing very good at Comanche. New Maloney's is just getting going. They're starting to catch a few trout there. And kind of rounding out the trout report, let's move on over to Folsom. Folsom is fishing very well. The surface temperature is still 56 to 58 degrees, and the fish are down a little bit. And at Folsom, you're looking 15 to 30 feet. Again, it's the shad pattern stuff, the hardware, trigger spoons, cast masters, humdingers, speedy shiners. All that stuff's working. The small countdown rapalas are working too. Key at Folsom is go fast, cover ground. Work the arms. The arms have been way better than the main body, but that could change at any time. The fish that are being caught, there's a few planters in the mix, but mostly they're holdovers and they're those native, steelhead out there. So that is just an awesome fishery when it gets going. Folsom is never easy, but there are some very nice trout out there. That about rounds it out for this week. I'll be back at you real soon here on YouTube. If you haven't had a chance to check out the Fish Hunt Shoot Productions store, go on over there. We still have our Black Friday sale going on until midnight on the 24th, where any 3 kits are $75 and no shipping. So that's a pretty good deal. You get to save a few bucks depending on what you buy. And we are chock full of quality gear at good prices over there. So check it out. And please take a minute to hit the subscribe button here on YouTube if you haven't done that already. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have a Fish Hunt Shoot Productions YouTube channel. And we appreciate all the support we've gotten this past year, guys. Anyway, I'm Cal Kellogg. I'm signing off. I'm gonna go give these squirrels hell here. At least I'm gonna try to on the way back to my truck. Anyway, I'll catch you later right here on YouTube, guys. Have a great day.
FishHuntShoot.com offers a variety of tackle as well as rods and reels designed to get you on more and bigger fish. Check it out today at FishHuntShoot.com.